the Fulani political class, they are playing a dangerous politics to sabotage the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I repeat, the Fulani political class, they have started playing a dangerous kind of politics to destabilize the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, religion and tribe, these are the problems we have in Nigeria. Religion and tribe. And the northern political class, they have seen that they are losing out. Tinubu's government is dealing with the Fulani. They know that they are losing out politically. That is why they want to start a religious war. The North wants to start a religious war. You see, Tinubu over the years have pushed the Fulani away from Abuja. Now they are not close to power. For Fulani to achieve their agenda, they must have political power. If Fulani does not have political power, they cannot achieve anything tangible or meaningful. That is why Buhari and El-Rufai, they were saying that they were threatening Jonathan. They were threatening violence. They imported their brothers so that they can scatter everything. Bloodshed. That is what the core North is trying to do under Tinubu's administration. A particular imam is calling his fellow brothers to go and behead a pastor because the pastor insulted Muhammad. These locals are saying that we don't care if you have DSS. Sharia for us is more supreme than the constitution. Listen, Sharia is more supreme than the constitution. So the imam initially said, I will give somebody 1 million if they can help me kill that pastor. Now he has increased it to 2 million. They want to start a religious war because power is no longer in their hands. That is why I said, we in southern Nigeria, we need to be very, very smart. These people, they are desperate. They will do everything and anything they can to make sure they destabilize the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I have an advice for Tinubu, how to get rid of this Fulani. You see the Fulani, without political power, they are toothless bulldogs. They are nothing without political power. That is why they are willing to go to the extreme. To make sure that they hold political power. How did Sharia get into our constitution? It is the same Fulani cabals that use the military to put it in our constitution. Because they had political power then, they were influential then, that is why they were able to put Sharia in our constitution. If not, what business do Christians, do a secular country have with Sharia? There are some things you do in the south. If you do it in northern Nigeria, you'll be killed. And we are saying that we are practicing one Nigeria. We are deceiving ourselves. There are some offenses you commit in the south here. If you commit it in northern Nigeria, they will kill you. Now look at southern Muslims, northern Muslims. You can see there's a big difference. If you are fighting and praying for one Nigeria, may one Nigeria happen to you. How can somebody, you are demanding the killing, the beheading of another person because in your mind, insulting Muhammad, they need to kill somebody for insulting Muhammad. After they lie to you that Sharia does not affect non-Muslims and Sharia this and that. Somebody who is not even in the imam that is giving out the threat, the person that allegedly, the pastor that allegedly insulted Muhammad is not in the same state with the imam. The imam is in a place where they practice Sharia, but the other person is not in the same state with the imam. But the imam is threatening that they should kill the person. How then can they convince us that the Sharia they are practicing is not applicable to non-Muslims? Don't let them deceive you. We are saying that make sure that you get rid of these bloodsuckers politically. Political Sharia should be destroyed. Let's start with the south. All these extremists, religious extremists, they need to be purged from the south. The first mosque in Nigeria is in southwest. Southwest, Yorubas were practicing Islam before the Fulani came to Nigeria. The north, they were practicing Islam before the Fulani came to Nigeria. So the Fulani will not tell anybody how to practice Islam. Even Saudi Arabia, where Islam, the birthplace of Islam, do not practice the kind of barbaric religion that these guys practice in the core north. Anywhere these guys find themselves, there is no peace at all. There is no peace. So get rid of political Sharia. That is to say, take away Sharia from our constitution. And I believe Tinubu is going to do such. See, you people overrate these people in the north. You think that they are anything. You see, this election is coming. Now that you don't say, these people, they are just noisemakers. They're just noisemakers. If Jonathan has stood his ground, Buhari will not be president. All these their bloodsucking will kill and kill. If Jonathan knew how he could utilize the political power he had, he would have arrested Buhari, arrested El-Rufai, and nothing. I mean, nothing will happen. Look at Tinubu today. He arrested Malami, arrested El-Rufai. What happened? He even told Buhari, now we are going to Daura. If there's a need for us to come and knock on your door, he told Buhari face to face. If there's a need for us to come and knock on your door, we will come and knock on your door. You can see a fearless person dealing with these Fulani people. The problem we have in Nigeria today, they are majorly the Fulani, the cancer. They are majorly the Fulani. Imagine a Fulani person telling you that Sharia is above Nigeria's constitution. That tells you their agenda. Their agenda, they don't value your constitution. All they want to do is to Islamize the country. That is why every of the presidents that they have produced always find one or two ways to Islamize Nigeria. Look at Buhari. This one that they are rehabilitating Boko Haram. In 2015, Buhari established Safe Corridor, Operation Safe Corridor. Operation Safe Corridor entails repentant Boko Haram coming for them to rehabilitate them and take them back into society. That is Buhari, a Fulani man. Look at how they are playing their politics. Operation Safe Corridor. This Buhari was the one that initiated it against the wish of every other person. When we had that several something terrorists were being rehabilitated, look at the response of Southerners. Look at the response of Northerners. Southerners, they kicked against it, they frowned against it, but the North applauded. The North kept quiet. Now, what was the reason they gave? They told us that these guys are useful so that they can leak the bases, the base. They can take the Nigerian soldiers to the base where they have been operating. Yes, they use them as intelligence officers. But after we have done those programs, rehabilitation, how far have we gone in the battle to stop terrorism in the North? Just a few months ago, we have lost more than 10 lieutenant general, top military officers. The same Boko Haram, they are killing our soldiers anyhow. They are going to the base to attack our soldiers. They plant IEDs, they are in our territory doing such. I don't think that this Operation Safe Corridor will backfire. Every time there's a Southern president, these people want to threaten and threaten. I pity for the Hausa people. I have said this. It's only God that will save the Hausa people. With the way these people are moving, it is only God in heaven that will save the Hausa people from the hands of these bloodsuckers. Just to remove how many years? 3 years. The Yorubas supported Buhari even though they knew he was a failure. They supported Buhari first term, second term. But Tinubu, they will not allow Tinubu because they believe they are entitled, they have Nigeria. So if DSS does not arrest that man, and that man eventually, or they eventually kill the pastor, then what will happen to Nigeria? Fulani, their eyes have not seen. I can assure you that if DSS does not arrest this man, and this man start a religious war, you see, the Fulani does not want Nigeria to divide. The Fulani does not want structuring. If they start this, if they kill that pastor, because the attention of international community, they are there, the attention of Amnesty International, groups all over the world, their attention, their focus is on that particular threat of that imam. Let them try it and carry it out. You know, we have said it, we cannot be in the same country with these animals. For me, they are animals. I'm telling you, they are animals. Christians need to wake up. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. The King of Heaven suffered violence. God gave me life, and I must protect it by all means. I will not sit down here and let somebody come and take my life. I don't care how complicit the Nigerian government is in supporting these terrorists. I don't care. My own is that God has given me a mandate to defend myself. If by peradventure I meet any of these terrorists, I have to defend myself. Let me tell you something. Maybe I'm being kidnapped. I kill myself than submit myself to these Fulanis. The mentality we have, my God, religion has made us to sound so stupid and foolish. We are foolish. Religion. A particular imam will threaten a pastor to behead a pastor. Our religious leaders, our fathers in the Lord, they are not saying anything. You are sitting there, you are looking, they want to assassinate your own pastor. You people have links with the government. Instead of you to put pressure on the DSS to arrest the man, you just keep looking. Keep looking. You call it persecution. What kind of persecution is that? That's why in Nigeria, with all our Christianity, we have nothing to show for it at the federal level, at the national level. Nothing. Is it immorality? What is the essence of we having churches in every street whereby immorality is on the high, corruption is on the high, churches that produce politicians? Politicians are professors of corruption. So what is the essence of the church in the first place, if not gaslighting and witchcraft? Religious tolerance is making us look like fools. I've said it personally. Maybe I'm traveling to my state or Abia state or whatever, and by mistake these people kidnap me. I prefer to die escaping. Than, there's something called dignity. Dignity. We will all die one day. We will all die. That is the obvious truth. You are afraid to die. You are a coward. You want to die like you are a coward. You lose your life. You lose your life. Whether you die in which way or which way, it doesn't matter to anybody. What matters is what you were able to achieve, the life you live, what you stood for. That is what matters. I'm telling you. So we are waiting for this imam for the Muslims to kill the pastor. So the Nigerian government, they are looking at everything. Things are happening. We are waiting. Want to see what happens. Let them kill the pastor. That's why I said, get rid of political Sharia. Sharia in our constitution, we don't want Sharia. Sharia is a blood-sucking system. Anywhere these guys find themselves, there's always terrorism. Anywhere Sharia finds itself. For instance, now if they bring Sharia into Abia State, the terrorism you see in Abia State will increase. Anywhere they find themselves, they are always cancer, parasite, disease. These guys are a disease to societies. So if Tinubu is very serious, he must get rid of political Sharia. And there are moves to amend the constitution and take away Sharia. It is step by step. The US government, in alignment with Tinubu's government, will do that at the second term of Bola Tinubu. Listen to what I said, though. I said what I said. the second term of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the US government, they are going to eliminate Sharia from our constitution because insecurity, terrorism, banditry, Sharia is what is helping them to thrive. The Sharia ideology is what is helping them to thrive. Okay, you talk about Sharia, you talk about morals. Morals. El-Rufai's son came for the mother's burial. El-Rufai's son was having dada. One of El-Rufai's son was having dada. If it is in Kano, they see you wear dada, Hizbah will call you and cut your head. Abi, in Kano or other places they practice Sharia, they will cut your head. But this is El-Rufai, a cult Muslim, not Muslims. Why is Hizbah not going to call El-Rufai to bring out his son, let them cut his dada? Since you people are saying Sharia brings moral, this and that, blah blah blah. Sharia, you are using Sharia as a tool to control the Hausa population. You know what you are doing. Sharia is a tool, a political tool used to control people. A system you bring in to put people in check, put people under your control. That is what Sharia is. It does not affect the big men. Why would you people go and meet El-Rufai's son and call his dada? If you are not, people are not hypocrites. Very useless set of people. In fact, I don't know why we are sharing the same country with these people. Get rid of political Sharia. Number two, get rid of their sleeper cells. You know, when we are saying these things, you think it's play. All these people doing iron condemn, begging, moving up and down. You see, the days of Jonathan, the suicide bombers were these same people. Listen to the story, read the story, do research. The people that they carried to do suicide bombing are these same people that you see moving around. In Lagos, we see them moving around. They are going into places that people don't go. Into some canal, they are always there. They are intelligence officers of these Islamic jihadists everywhere in Nigeria. Everywhere in Nigeria, they are everywhere. Now, you think they are thinking the reason why they are reasoning? They cannot do anything. They cannot do anything. Somebody is threatening to kill another person openly because of religion, and the DSS have not arrested that person. As at the time of doing this report, I have no information that DSS have arrested the imam. If a pastor does that, don't you think that DSS will arrest? Don't you think? So they are doing that. The guy sit down, do video, threatening the first time, put 1 million. Another person say go put 2 million. Now, report got to him that they have not killed the man. He came again and did another video. He said that those people that said Jesus will arrest me, I did here, Jesus will arrest me, I still did here, can't pay. He's even bragging, and Jesus did there. They watch all these things happening. He now made another threat and added the money from 1 million to 2 million, plus the 2 million of the other person that said that is 4 million to kill somebody. They are making both threats. That's how one useless cleric was threatening the life of the wife of President Tinubu. She's an infidel, she cannot rule against us. You can see their mentality, and their politicians are all keeping quiet. Some of Sokoto, they are keeping quiet. Their influencers are keeping quiet. None of them are saying anything. But when US came in and said Christian genocide, all of them came out. Hey, it's not only Christians that are being killed, Muslims are also being killed. You can see the hypocrisy and stupidity of these guys, both their politicians, all of them. These northern Islamic jihadists, very, very useless set of people that we should not be in the same country together. But by force, we must stay in one Nigeria. You go to church tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. You go to church tomorrow and you are praying for one Nigeria. Are you okay? Are you okay? Go to the north. No religious freedom. They will lie to you that Sharia does not affect non-Muslims. This man that is talking about Muhammad, I don't know what he said. They said he blasphemed against Muhammad or he insulted Muhammad. He's a non-Christian. No. They want to apply Sharia on him. He's not even in the same state that terrorist imam is. But they want to apply Sharia on him. They are sending people to assassinate the man. You can see, and they come and tell you that Sharia does not affect. It's only meant for Muslims. Why do you want to go? The one that pains me the most is that they don't care about the constitution. They don't care if Nigeria burns the ground. So far, Islamic culture, Sharia is being upheld. They don't care. That's to say that they wish that they can Islamize Nigeria and they will do away with your constitution. They will put all of you under them. And if you look at Islam in Nigeria, who is at the top? Is the Fulani. Politically, who is at the top? The Fulani. So if I tell you that they are planning a religious war to sabotage Tinubu's government, I know what I'm saying. I'm not bluffing. That religious war, they wanted to bring in Sharia to the Southwest by force. The people push back because the Southwest knows that these guys, this religion is a tool they use. They use to enter you, infiltrate you, do anyhow they want to do. That's what they do. That's what they do. Get rid of their sleeper cells. You cannot come into a state. The governors are listening. In the South, you are listening. You cannot come to a state and you are staying in the bush. You don't rent a house, you don't buy land, you just find a place to go and stay. You don't give them those opportunities. They must rent houses. They must acquire properties like every other person. But anytime they go to a certain place, they go against the law of the land. They just go into one bush and build one sleeper cell. And the government, the international rulers, most of them are complicit of these things. You go to a village, they go and meet international ruler, carry money, give international ruler. The international ruler will go give them one land. You go tell people, say, don't put your eye in that land though. Don't put your eye there. I have interest there. You don't Fulani just settle am. You can't carry Fulani, go camp one place because of greed. Sometimes when they kill these traditional rulers, you don't pity them because they brought all these nemesis on themselves. Sleeper cells will be eradicated. You must be responsible in every state because the Fulani, the only way they can take you out of West is through their sleeper cells. In Oga where we are today, you see a lot of all these guys all around. When they start their jihad, oh God, hey, when they start their jihad, both the one inside police, both the one inside army, both the one inside, I told you that all of them are the same. All of them are the same. In Lagos, get issue with a northerner, get police case with a northerner. If you don't get money, get police case with a northerner. Or in your village in Ondo State, in your state, get a case with a header, Fulani headsman, get a case. Those Fulani headsmen, they will call somebody. That person will call your. Somebody had an issue with a Fulani that used to go to his farm and destroy his cows. So he had to apprehend the Fulani, took the Fulani to the authorities, to the police. The Fulani give police number. Police call the number. All of a sudden, police tell the man, say, go, we will settle up. Before you know, they leave the Fulani guy. They told the man, say, no, no, go there. Fulani is coming to his land, committing crime, stealing from him. You report to the police. Police set Fulani free. Are we okay? Are we done with this country? Don't you see what is happening? Somebody comes to steal from you. It's against the law of the land. You report that person to the police station. It's not police to detain that person, take that person to court. Police will release that person because they call somebody. And you don't know that you have been surrounded and infiltrated by these guys. You don't know. You are in Lagos, you are in Yoruba. You don't know in the rural areas, they are surrounded everywhere. I went to Ogun State. I saw these Fulani guys. They don't make noise like what we do on social media or TikTok. You are catching crews up and down. These guys are surrounding. You see, if you're a Yoruba person without land, you're a useless Yoruba. If you're an Igbo person without land, you're a useless Igbo. If you're an Hausa person without land, you're a useless Hausa. The Fulani knows the importance of land grabbing. They know the importance. They know you don't know the importance. You are carried away. You are doing sheshe up and down. You don't know the importance of land. That's why they'll go into a forest. They claim some portion of the land. They are waiting for their people in the government to give them signal before they use political federal power. Give them. You know, say Buhari, because of he was president, grazing routes, water resources, all these open grazing routes and water resources, because he had political power. That's why I've said, if you stop Fulani from having access to political power, it will be difficult for them to achieve their agenda. That's just the reality. If you stop Fulani, it will be difficult for them to achieve their agenda. May God help Nigerians.
Atiku is not a Democrat. Nobody should try to push the narrative that Atiku is a Democrat. Atiku is not a Democrat. Atiku, in my opinion, knows how to manipulate the democratic process. He knows how to plant his henchmen, his loyalists, in positions in order to bend democratic processes to his will. He knows how to do that. That you followed and you bent the democratic processes to your will does not make you a Democrat. Peter Obi is a Democrat. And that is why when it comes to a political party and certain key players in that political party are doing certain things that are not democratic, instead of him to behave like a Tinubu and bend the party to his will in a very non-democratic and undemocratic way, instead of doing that, he just simply takes his leave. That is what true Democrats should do. They should allow parties to run based on party constitutions and party rules and regulations. So, I don't want to agree that Atiku is a Democrat. And the reason for me saying this or talking about this at this time is simple. Peter Obi yesterday was at Arise News talking about his plans for 2027, ticket or no ticket, in fact hinting at possible defection from the ADC. That video went viral. Shockingly, today, Atiku insisted that he too must also go to the same Arise News, the same prime time with Charles Anyagolu, to also give his own interview. And then in that interview, it became very, very clear that certainly Atiku is contesting in the primaries for a ticket. It's very, very clear. Now, how does this connect or link to the fact that I said Atiku is not a Democrat? If Atiku were a Democrat, you will understand that Nigeria needs this principle of the pendulum, swinging north and south. The north has done 8 years. Atiku would have allowed the south to do 8 years before jumping into the mix again. But from what we heard Atiku say with his own mouth, he's saying that 2027 will be his last attempt, which means he is desperate, which in my opinion proves that he does not respect democratic principle, part of which is the principle of zoning. Now here's the thing. If Atiku is looking at this game as his last opportunity, do you think that he will leave anything to chance? We were all here in this Nigeria in 2022, 2023, when primaries were going on in the PDP, and we saw how dollars were changing hands, how delegates were being bought. Is that how true delegates and true Democrats behave? They buy votes. Atiku is not a Democrat. I wonder why people like Peter Obi, for some strange reason, would think that because Atiku came up with a coalition idea, that Atiku would just relinquish the platform, which rumors have that he bought for 1.7 billion naira from Ralph Nwosu. How Peter Obi and people like him feel and believe that Atiku would just surrender that platform, the platform of the ADC, so that any other person apart from him can come and do primaries and get tickets. It still shocks me. It still beats me. I can't understand it. This man is telling you in very clear terms that this is his last opportunity. That he doesn't care whether it is the turn of the South. He doesn't care whether Tinubu has just used only 4 years out of the 8 years that is supposed to be for the South. He doesn't care. And the allegations are there that, okay, he is the one that brought David Mark. If the allegations are also true that 1.7 billion naira was paid to purchase ADC, and the money is allegedly supposed to come from him, and this is last opportunity, do you think that he will now leave such a party to chance? Why do you think that he went out of his way to great lengths to force David Mark and Aregbesola, people that he is sure are loyal to him, as the chairman and the national secretary? Why do you think that is? Look, if anything is going to be described as being fair, anybody who refuses to zone the presidency to the South in the ADC and throws it open, that person does not want free and fair primaries. It can never be free and fair if any Northerner joins the race for presidency in the African Democratic Congress. It will not be a free and fair primaries, because the principle of zoning, the 8 years of the South, should be respected and remove anybody that is coming from the North. So Kwankwaso should not bother, El-Rufai should not bother, Malami should not bother, Atiku should not bother, Tambuwal should not bother, because let it remain in the South. Anything apart from that, it will not be a fair game. Even when you now zone it to the South, the fair thing to do is this. The Southwest has had it now for 12 years. 8 years under Obasanjo, 4 years under Tinubu. The South had it for 6 years. 6 years under Goodluck Jonathan. The Southeast has not had it. This is why we are saying give it to Peter Obi. Not because he's the only one. If the primaries of the African Democratic Congress is going to be free and fair, zone it to the Southeast. Bring as many people as you want from the Southeast to contest. It doesn't necessarily have to be Peter Obi. It can be Peter Obi. There are other persons from the Southeast. It can be Kenneth Okonkwo. It can be anybody. It can be Victor Ume. It can be anybody from the Southeast. But only the Southeast. If it is not zoned to the South and it is not zoned to the Southeast, then it is not a free and fair primaries. It is not a primaries that respects democratic processes. And it is not a primaries that Peter Obi should participate in. Because the fact that Atiku is in it and he's looking at it as his last opportunity, and he has gone to great lengths to put his henchmen in charge of that party, forget it. That primaries ain't going to be free and fair. If you like, let Peter Obi be the one that brought the National Organizing Secretary. By the time dollar starts changing hand, you go know how far. Already the statistics have it that more people are registering from the North than they are registering from the South. Now, even the people from the South forget, when better dollar begin to change hands, the henchmen, the loyalists of Atiku will always find a way to bend the party to the will of Atiku, to give him ticket. And by that time, it will already be too late. Not just for the Southeast, but for Peter Obi. So let nobody drive this narrative that Atiku is a Democrat. He is not. If he were a Democrat, he would have sat this 2027 election out. He would have chosen or opted to use his influence, to use his experience, to use his financial capacity to support other candidates, particularly from the Southeast. Atiku should go into his retirement, into his sunset days, on a high note, by respecting the principles of democracy, by sitting the 2027 election out. This one that is insisting he must run is his last day. It's not good for democracy, and it's not good for the African Democratic Congress, and it's not good for Nigeria.